Hello everyone, it is Christine here and I am back to do part 2 of my lovely birthday goodies to share with you. And so these are goodies that I've received either as gifts for my birthday or things that have come in as little packages around my birthday, which I like to keep and have as part of my birthday celebrations. So I've got a beautiful box here from the lovely Paula from Craft Artosaurus here on YouTube. I'll include a link to her below this video, which I'll come to in a moment. And I thought I'd start off with this lovely little package from Sally from Dotty B Vintage, also on YouTube. Check the description below for the link. Now, funny story about this package. I had Sally had asked me, have you received a package from me from the UK? And I said, no, I haven't received anything yet. Anyway, I was vacuuming on Saturday, yesterday, before we headed off to the beach and cleaning up the hall table in readiness for Easter, vacuuming under the hall table. And what did my vacuum cleaner hit but a parcel? Not the wall where I thought I'd be moving into the skirting boards, but no, a parcel, and it was this parcel. And so all I can assume is Alex is my mail collector, does a wonderful job. He always either receives the postman delivering it or gets it from the mailbox, brings it in, puts it on the hall table. Now some days, particularly in the lead up to things like birthdays, I get a few parcels a day, and so I can only assume this came on a multi-parcel day. He said, yep, you've had some parcels, I got a parcel, and so I didn't know that one had slipped right down the back of the hall table. Anyway, I've delayed opening it because I want to open it with you. Interestingly, it's another one that Biosecurity Control has picked up. So it's had the lovely biosecurity dogs probably doing their job, opened for inspection. Don't know if they could smell your dog, Maggie. Your goods have been screened and inspected for biosecurity risk material. So there you go. But no goods of concern were identified. So let's have a little, it's sealed up, so I should have actually checked this beforehand, but that's okay. We'll open it together. Don't have a knife with me, so I'll just try not to bang the table, otherwise the camera will bang as well. Eventually I'll get it open, I'm sure. There we go. I guess they probably stuck it back together maybe, because they would have had to open it to have an inspection and they would have thought, wow, what a beautiful, beautiful package. I'm sure that's what they would have thought. Now let me just move that out of the way. Sally does the most lovely packages, the most lovely little packs as well. I feel so lucky to have lovely Sally as such a dear stitchy friend. So I'll open the card off camera. And look at those beautiful colours. You get to look at the lovely package while I open the card off camera. And I keep all my cards from my lovely friends in a little book. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And it's actually got raised bits to the design. What a lovely idea to do with your stitcheries, to make little cards. I have done a little bit of that, but this is just so bright and lovely. But I'm thinking that my Fleur Woods inspired piece, I could definitely do something similar. It almost looks like there's buttons there, doesn't it? Makes me want to actually stitch into the card. So happy. Artwork by Larry Fowler. Oh, how beautiful. So lovely. And it says, to dear Christine, with love on your birthday, wishing you the most wonderful birthday. I hope you enjoy the little package of goodies. Best wishes, love, Sally. That is so incredibly sweet, and I do feel so bad that you were worrying where the parcel had got to all the while it was behind the whole table. Oh, look at these buttons. Look at that. I'm sitting outside, so excuse the paper gluing. It's a hot day here today, like 30 degrees or something. Look at that. Stunning. Beautiful. Like a little, it's got almost a pineapple pattern in the middle. That one's a glass one, I'm pretty sure. Cut glass. And green. Beautiful, beautiful, and love all those colours. Sometimes just looking at a little colour composition, and what a sweet little bag, like a little Japanesey style bag. What a great idea to put buttons like that. Yeah, definitely glass, that one. And look at this beautiful ticking. I think Sally was mentioning she got this from like a Scandinavian type store. I think I might have seen this on one of her videos. Isn't that just gorgeous? I feel like I need to add this to my Frida Kahlo inspired piece, although I am also planning a doily dress, so possibilities. I'll put my little clip back on here because that's so cute. Look at this. Beautiful. Just love that. Again, I can see that going into another fabric collage. Oh, how lucky am I? I've been wanting to do some little pieces using little, I'm assuming this is a doll's cloth. I don't think babies are quite that small, are they? Oh, isn't that just gorgeous? And I don't even mind the little age marks on it. They just add to the age and the charm. But look at that beautiful little pattern on it. So sweet. So sweet. Beautiful. Okay, ideas are already whirring. I just need more hours in my day. If someone can give me that. More. Oh, isn't this beautiful? Feels like silk. I think it is silk. Such wonderful vintage colours. That is beautiful. And Sally loves her yellows, so very generous of you, Sally, to share that. Now, I remember seeing this in your as well. And you were wondering at first, and this is actually these brownie coloured marks are part of the design. It's like a basket weave design on it. And you're trying to work out what it had been because it had these little hangy bits on it. Possibly a tea towel. But aren't they just such wonderful vintage retro designs? And everything Sally sends smells so nice. It really must be something about the UK washing detergent. We've noticed it on, Christy and I have both noticed it on some other packages. Isn't that beautiful? I'll definitely be using parts of that. Wow, look at this fabric. Now that is incredible. What does it say? A Moy Gachel screen print. This is going to be so perfect for Fleur Woods inspired stitching. So many prospects in either keeping it in this colour tone or using these base pieces. I love these ones, these little, what are they? They're like little glass window pieces, little seed pods that you get. Oh, look at that. Look at this cluster over here. So it's called Printemps, which in French is spring. It's also one of their department stores over there. They have one called Printemps, I think. Look at these, beautiful. Just really lovely design, and that's a very, very generous piece. Thank you so much, Sally. Just love all the flowers. Love these ones down here. Love the poppy up here. I love them all, and it's a beautiful weight. It's like probably a furnishing weight of fabric. Absolutely delicious. I'm going to keep that, as I like to keep my Sally and my Christy sort of little packs as little complete packs. Then I can know it's from them when I'm including it in my pieces. And this is just presented so beautifully. So Sally, as I mentioned, does have sells some beautiful packs on Etsy, also through her. She has a little store at a vintage store, and you can also sign up to go along to her monthly slow stitching classes. Or like a day where you get to workshops, I guess, not a class per se, where you get to create amazing things. And our dear friend Christy is going to be at the next one of that. So that is very, very exciting. I put the little dog in there. So yes, we do have, and so I'm not sure what the dog, I'm now thinking, what would have it picked up? Why would have they picked that up? For biosecurity? It's fascinating because there was no wools. Often my little felting packs from the makers in the UK, they get picked up, but I can't actually think what would have been thought suspect in that. So thank you so much, Sally, and apologies for our mishandling of the mail at our reception here. So this next package is from the lovely Paula from New Zealand. And this was actually a prize that I got on Annie Claxton's, one of her Saturday night for them. It's early Sunday morning for us, and in fact I wasn't even online at the time they were doing the prize draw, but the lovely Annie entered me into it, which was very kind of her. And so she told me after the fact, and then I said to Paula, I know things are tight, so you don't have to send me something. But she said, no, I'd like to do it. So I've got a beautiful package, and I'm going to count this as part of my lovely birthday celebration. So let me just pull the and Paula said, oh no, it's just a tiny package, but this is not a tiny package, Paula. This is a very, very generous. Now there's a tiny little treasure down the bottom that I don't want to lose. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I wonder if that's meant to come. Sorry, I can just see I don't know if it's meant to sit in here. Feels like maybe it's meant to be in the bottom of there, and maybe it's just come loose. I'll just make sure I don't lose that. I'm just going to put that over here. So let's start with, what will we start with? Let's start with the card. Always start with the card, Christine. She has given me, now Paula, so Craft Artosaurus, here on YouTube. She is an amazing artist, but she's also an amazing stitcher. She's one of those multi-talented people, a bit like our lovely friend Annie Claxton from Arty Farty Annie. Just remember to look below the video and I'll have links to all these folks, as well as lots of other lovely folks that I like to support. And I recently, she'd done a beautiful painting and drawing that featured Travis among other things, and I asked for an electronic copy of it so I could print it out and frame it up. But now I've got my own Paula original with beautiful Travis, and Travis doing what he loves in the sea, although I don't know how he'd go on a board swimming, which is exactly what Travis looks like. In fact, we were just down at the river this morning, and it's got Travis there. And it's got Travis, I don't know, is he holding a bag or something there? And then there we all are, just sitting. Although Travis, he would actually be up on the seat next to me with his head on me, or his head trying to steal snacks out of my bag. But isn't that absolutely incredible? I'm going to be framing that up, Paula, for sure. In fact, Alex and I were just talking about artwork at lunchtime and talking about a bit of a reorganise of where all our artwork is. So this will be absolutely perfect. Hi Christine, congratulations on winning something you didn't enter. Or you should buy a lotto ticket, we could win big. Well, definitely, Paula, I'll buy that lotto ticket. I'll see if there's a draw tonight and we'll win big, and we can go on a worldwide tour and go and visit Annie over in the UK and Sally and visit all our friends. How about that? So yeah, this was a box that started off, and I think it was a box this size, and it started off from a previous Annie's giveaway, and I think it's been through a few people now, and now it has made it to me, but with amazing additional goodies, Paula, because when you said a small box, I was thinking a box this size. Might have gone a little crazy, but I did have fun, have added in little cross stitches that are cute, and also 3 little doilies for you, as I thought of you when I saw these. Cotton is from Op Shop Fine, thought you might like. Give Travis a pat from me. And Cleo, which is Paula's dog, says bark, lick, happy dance. Made this card of Travis on holiday. So this was inspired by our lovely holiday where we were on the Southern Highlands and went down to the coast there, and then we had our lovely drive down the coast and our lovely time at Malakuta. So that is just so perfect, and that I am absolutely always going to treasure that. Thank you, dear Paula, that is absolutely beautiful. So what next? Let's put so I think the box is what's meant to be just the prize. And then she's sent me other lovely finds. So I think Paula has lovely finds at the op shops over there too. So this is a koala card stitch kit. Isn't that cute? Might have to stitch that one up and send it to our friend Sally in the UK. Or Annie indeed. And then a kokeshi. Oh, isn't that beautiful? A kokeshi doll. I do love that. And again, a great buy at the op shop. So everything you need to make a cute kokeshi greeting card. What a lovely idea. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, I'm definitely going to do that. I don't do much cross stitch, but something of that size is quite doable, I think. And I just think this one is super cute with those boggle eyes. Now, isn't this beautiful? Gorgeous, gorgeous. Look at this. Love it. Love how the heart curves down into where the little cross is, and love how it's a heart around the outside. That is such an incredible piece of needlework. So that's going to go straight into my my book, or my pile, to go into a book of examples of really beautiful and interesting needlework. It is lovely. I was also thinking it could go with my little collection of pincushions with this sort of embroidery on it. I could turn it into a pincushion, but I think I'll have a ponder actually, because if I put a little bit of backing behind that, that could become a sweet little pincushion on my little display table where I've got quite a few of them. Oh, wow. Now Paula just does the most whimsical, wonderful creatures, as you could see from the card with Travis. But yeah, I love her creations. And look at this beautiful, I think I might have seen this on your channel actually, Paula. Isn't he sweet, or he or she? And then this is a piece of fabric that I actually sent Paula in when I was sending her a prize from Artie Buddy, and so it's so lovely to see people using it. That's not a piece of fabric I said, so it's just lovely that we can all connect. And I'm almost certain that this little piece will sit within that. So I'm going to get Alex, he had the super glue out earlier today for something else, so I'll get him to put it back in there. And so the back has these beautiful stars and lace, and it's got a little house. Almost looks like a little Swiss house. Isn't that cute? And then a beautiful little needle book, which I don't have. I actually I do have some needle books, but none of this like nice little compact size. So that one is going to be absolutely treasured. Isn't that beautiful? So I hope I had that properly on camera. I think I did. And then Paula knows I love my crochet yarn to use in my stitching, and this is a beautiful colour again. Just gorgeous. Okay, let's put the things that I've looked at over there, because I haven't looked at over here. And then these must be some of the lovely little doilies that Paula found at the op shop. Isn't that beautiful with the purple? And then these lovely little bits that sort of, jut out, and gorgeous stitching. Look at how neat that stitching is. That is wonderful. Thank you, Paula. Beautiful blue. I like that, turning second-hand goods into first-class care. That is great. I imagine this probably helps a retirement home. Beautiful. Got my favourite little birds on it. And lots of lovely motifs around. Sometimes you only get like one little bridge or something, but this one's got the motifs going all around. I will be sure to get the staples out carefully. Strawberries! I was just going through my collection the other day because I did have a project idea in mind for one of the prompts that we've got for our Southeast Contemporary Arts Network for an upcoming exhibition. But I was just looking through my various strawberry pieces, and I was like, don't think I've got quite enough yet, so I'm still collecting. So thank you so much, Paula. That is absolutely perfect for me, and that will go into my little strawberry pile. And then, wow, look at this. Now, I don't know if this is some of that beautiful bazaar sari and Indian trim, Paula. I'm guessing. It looks beautiful, and that will be fantastic again. I can see that either going into my stitched pieces or into some of my texture and fibre pieces, because I've got a underwater octopus's garden coming up in my creations there. So it could be great for that. Oh my goodness, Paula, you have been so incredibly kind to me. Now these are great colours for my family heirloom quilt, and look at this little bird one. Isn't that sweet? And obviously I'll need to finish it, but I love it with the little music, and then stitch around it. And then look at this lovely design as well. And then another one here, and again it's Semco, which you've seen me with those recent that recent video with the transfers, and Semco being a Melbourne brand, so it's come all the way from New Zealand back to Melbourne. That is lovely. I will add that to my sort of underway projects that I can then sort of add my stitching to, and it becomes a collaboration with the past. Isn't that beautiful? Again, just a lovely example of that stitching. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I think that's the is it Hardanger, I think it is. Never know how to pronounce it. Gorgeous again. So I think this might be the Indian fabrics. Oh, I can again see, oh look, you get a yellow on that side and gold on that side, so it can be used both directions. And I can see myself again for my underwater, because I'm thinking of wrapping beads. I want it to be quite textural, sort of coming up. It's going to be probably, I think I'll have this one displayed on a plinth, not hanging on the wall, and it will be with other artworks which will be on canvases. So I want it to be of a decent size, but then I'm planning to do some more detail work within it. Isn't that beautiful as well? So nice just to have, and I could see myself adding some of this into my current Fleur Woods inspired. I've actually come up with a name for my other piece, that beautiful colourful Frida sort of Kahlo inspired colour scheme piece. So I'll be sure to tell you the name of that when I next come to do my stitching into that. Another lovely piece of pink. Oh, look at these. Aren't these gorgeous? So you could just put that on a little like covered button or something, and wouldn't that be incredible? Lovely. So much detail. And even sometimes like the backs of these, if I wanted to use one in one of my sort of undersea, that could be fabulous as well. So you can use both directions, but I think even like this would be quite good for my under the sea. Perfect colours again for my family heirloom quilt. Very sort of silky. Lovely. And again, this would just cover buttons and look really beautiful on little covered buttons as well. And you could also make your little Suffolk puffs out of it. It's beautiful fine fabric. Be gorgeous for that. Also overlaying over things, because it's actually got like little transparency, so you can sort of see a bit through it. Lovely yellows, goldy colours. Again, so useful just to have those different palette of things. Oh wow, look at this. Oh my goodness. Now I haven't had any of the bazaar packs because I'm not allowing myself to indulge in everything that I see others purchasing, but how lovely to have Paula share some of her treasures with me. And again, beautiful colours to go with my family heirloom quilt, which are those burgundies and browns and greens. Again, wow, look at this. Look at this. Just gorgeous. I want to have a look at the back. Oh, see, look at even the back side. If you don't want all the sequins and things, I mean, because why? I mean, you should actually have all the sequins, but sometimes it's nice just to look at how you can even use the back of something as well. Another beautiful piece of that. Be so nice around a pouch or something like that. Very regal. Wow, look at this. It's like an artwork. I can definitely see you could do lots of fabulous stitching into this as well. And it's got this fun tassel on it again. That could come in handy for my texture and fibre play. Beautiful again. And again, sometimes always look at the front and the back, because they give you a whole different set of options. Almost Japanesey, this one, but I assume it's also from Bazaar maybe, where they repurpose all sorts of things. Look at this. It's got this little tie bit on it. Again, that does feel more Japanese in design and sort of, to me, again, this has a Japanesey feel. I love it. It almost looks like a sort of typography or something, and it's got all this wonderful mark making on it. It's got a seam in there. I love when you get things that you have to try and work out, oh, what? I wonder what that was. Wow, love that. Just love the mark making detail, almost like cross stitching, but all different marks. And it gives you ideas as well if you're working on a piece. Wow. Oh, look at this little bunny with little hills and embroidery. Beautiful, beautiful. And it's so soft, it almost feels like a baby's cloth or something. How lovely. Oh wow, look at this one. Wow, both ends as well. Look how beautiful, and look how neat it is. But that is hand done. At first I was like, is that machine done? Unless it is machine. But normally you can see where the threads, where they've kind of carried it across on the piece. Could be a... Don't think it is though. I think it's hand done. Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Look at the colours of that. It's not often that you'd see that sort of orange with that really pale pink, but it works. And it's that really, it's like a silk thread. So there are some little age spots, but honestly that does not worry me. And it kind of gives you I always feel it gives you the permission to be able to kind of, cut them out and then use them in something. Beautiful doilies, which are great because, as I mentioned, I'm planning a bit of a dress, and I'm thinking I might get either get some Procyon dyes, or use my Inktense. And rather than having the doilies in their natural colours, I'm thinking I might colour them up because I think that could be a whole lot of fun. Another beautiful one here. This one's a nice textural one, so again I think I'd probably use something like this in my fibre work because it can really sort of hold its own. My fibre, sort of my undersea world, because that would make a fabulous coral. So thank you, Paula. Oh, and look at this lovely tatting piece. And it's a complete piece, not a triangle, a diamond. Look at this. Aren't they just perfect, those little shapes? And again, I could see how you could incorporate some of these like into the underwater, maybe putting them atop something. Let's just play for a moment because I like to have a play and give you ideas. So you could even have them sort of stuffed and sitting atop something like this, and then you start to get really interesting perspectives on things, and it's that layering and playing. Beautiful piece of quilt, isn't that lovely? Gorgeous. Some lovely beautiful feel of the fabric, linen with flowers on it. Some little patchwork pieces presumably. Paula, probably like me, loves finding these little off-cut pieces. Oh, dragonflies. I do love my dragonflies. And some more of that lovely fabric. Isn't that beautiful? And again, these are the perfect little size for little covered buttons, or just fussy cutting out. Friends, that's perfect. Oh, I love that. Another lovely triangle. Again, perfect colours for my family heirloom quilt. Isn't that a lovely little piece? Now, I think I had another friend send me a fabric similar to this. Is it a Proust fabric? I can't remember. But I adore my birds, so this will be lovely to stitch into and add feathery stitchy details and do the flowers. How beautiful. And then this piece here, now I'm just going to give it a little shake off because it's got some of the little sprinkles from the bazaar packs. Look at this. Look at all these gorgeous, and it's a tablecloth. It's a whole card table size, and it's got all of these gorgeous little flowers on it. How incredibly lucky am I to get that from Paula. Thank you, Paula. That is so kind. And those are just going to be so lovely to add into stitched pieces. I will give it a soak and see if the staining comes out, or even using it as a piece that I can then add other pieces around. But these are just such delicate little little flowers, so tiny. Look how tiny that one is, smaller than a fingernail, even smaller than one of my very very small fingernails. Look at this one, look how tiny and perfect. I don't know if I can get it to focus in properly. That is tiny, minute. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, well I better wrap that up so I can keep my Paula pack as well. Thank you so much, Paula. That oh no, I haven't even opened the actual prize. This was just opening the naughty Paula pack, but very kind, very thoughtful. You know me well, Paula. So I'll pop that in there, back into the bigger box, and then this is the prize pack, I do believe. Wow. So we have a lovely piece of trim. Oh, rickrack, you know I love rickrack because it always makes me think of my Nana and my Nana's travelling rickrack project. And this is a beautiful deep green. Another doily. This one's got some lovely starch in it. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful yellows and greens. Might have to put that aside for my friend Sally from Dotty B. She loves her yellows. And these, which are fabulous to harvest and use in your slow stitching. You can easily cut in and they come apart. Some lovely laces. I will laugh if I see anything in here that was, because I think this might have started from one of the packs that I originally sent out as a prize. I can't be sure though, but we'll know if we find anything that's totally familiar, because I think the idea has been that people will use some things from the pack and then send it on. It might not have actually been a pack that I started. I think one of the ones that's travelling around may have been, not sure. Lovely eyelash trim. That's going to be fabulous for my textile fibre art piece. Look at this with little hearts and little decoration. I better make sure I'm back in focus down at this scale. Some lovely rickrack. Beautiful pink actually. I might need to add that into my Fleur Woods piece. Love this. Look how lovely old this can go into my family heirloom quilt, I think, or into my vintage laces. And another lovely aged one. Isn't that beautiful? Piece of trim. And a lovely piece of a doily. And I just love that we can all we can share. We know that we could use individual parts of them and then pass it on. So I'll be sure to continue the tradition of the passing on. Isn't that beautiful little button there? Just love my old buttons. I'll just turn them over in here and then maybe let you have a closer up look with them all in here. Oh wow, I do have to show you that one. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, and this little one with a little boy playing with a ball or something. Sweet, sweet. And these are very old, these covered buttons. So that's the button. Look at that lovely orange. Beautiful. So nice. And then these I think are probably ones from Bazaar. And again, I could see myself using them in my textile fibre arch. Even kind of having them sort of settled down, covered with a sort of a tulle or something like that, where you just get a bit of the shimmering through. Possibilities. Okay, I'll put this back in there. Thank you so very much, Paula. That is incredibly generous. I honestly thought you were just sending a box, and as I'd said, I know that it costs a bit to send between like Australia and New Zealand, vice versa. So you were so kind not only to send this, but to also send the other gorgeous goodies and the card, which I'm incredibly touched by. I just feel so honoured to have a piece of your artwork featuring, as you know, Travis is my world really. Alex is my world too, but Travis is absolutely loved to bits. He is a very loved dog by everyone, not just Alex and I, but Alex's parents, my parents, everyone that meets Travis loves him so very much. So that is those goodies. Now, I thought I'd show you some other goodies that also came recently. This one is from a site on Instagram called Mac and Morgan, and it's it's backwards here because it's a stamp. It's a very old vintage French stamp, and it would have been stamped on linen. I haven't actually tried it out yet, so that's going to be something fun to do. But it's a C, and I just thought, oh yeah, that would be absolutely perfect. So I can see it's got some little bits of damage, but wouldn't it be lovely to be able to, yeah, to use that in my on some of my pieces as well, and even to, yeah, stitch into that. So I thought I'd show you that. This is something I actually just picked up today. I was at Aldi picking up some treats for, oh no, yesterday, picking up some treats for my nephew who's coming to stay. And because I use pipe cleaners when I'm doing my fibre and nature's textures pieces, I particularly like the white ones, but the other colours are definitely good as well. So yeah, I picked up this pack of chenille stems, or what we call pipe cleaners. It's funny, they don't call them pipe cleaners anymore, do they? Which is interesting, but in fact some of the colours in this will be perfect for one of the elements for my octopus garden. And then I had a bunch of goodies that I got from a lady that sells via a Facebook group. I'll try and find the link to it again, and I'll pop it below the video. And she was selling most of her stock, which she already had, at 50% off. So I got some real bargains. Now, you know, I love my sort of vintage haberdashery items, so I couldn't go past this Semco, because we know Semco's out of business. And this beautiful Semco embroidery thread. One, I can use the embroidery thread, but I just love these old colouring. So yeah, I'm sure this was at half price, so I think $2 for this. And let's just grab it out. Stranded cotton, guaranteed fast colours. Draw thread from top as required. So I'm not sure what year that would have been in, but would have been quite a while ago. And then I got a whole bag of crochet yarns. Now it's a nice thickness, and I think it would dye up beautifully and use it like a 4-ply wool. But it also had these partially, in fact one of them is still attached to a roll, these crocheted pieces as well, which I think there's 2 collars and 2 cuffs. No, maybe I need to, let me just have a look, a rush around in the bag. I think maybe that's all there are actually. So what is it, two bigger pieces. I'm sure there was another smaller piece, but this one I think is, yeah, still attached. So I'm going to have to work out how to kind of cast that one off so that it doesn't unravel. But again, I thought, yes, I could use them as on the top of the doily dress that I'm planning to make, because that could definitely work beautifully. Or I could use them as a little collar piece on something. Or again, they could be really fabulous to use in some of my larger textile-y, fibre art pieces. Again, that could be fabulous for an underwater world, depending how big I'm going to go. So there's that bundle. Let me just slide that around there. But yeah, I think this will be good to do some, I'll see how it goes for stitching first, but I think it could be great to colour up into some of my own threads, because it's beautiful and soft. It actually feels really nice, and it's quite strong, which is great for stitching. So let me just pop those over there. The poor dogs down in the house sort of below us to the right at a diagonal, I think they get left alone a bit, so it's a bit sad for them. And I can hear one of them barking, and because it's been hot weather, one time Alex actually had to jump over the fence and give them some water, because their water was really hot, and we can't stand seeing animals in distress. So I got some rick racks. I got again, they're vintage rick racks, and I didn't have a big roll of the blue, so I thought that could be lovely. And again, good colours if I'm doing some undersea sort of themed things. There was quite a few different colours available, but I got the ones that yeah, sort of were good complements. This is a really nice bright yellow and a fluoro typed green. I don't think this is vintage, because it feels a bit more modern day. How does the yellow feel? I think this is a more modern one as well, but this one's got the feel of, yeah, definitely more, a little bit softer or something. And then There was a pack, and these ones were half the price, so $2 for the lot, which is just phenomenal, of these cross-stitch cards. Just pop those over there. So this one's beautiful. This one with the postie on it. I think this one might be destined for my friend Annie Claxton, Artie Farty Annie, because she always she had a good relationship with her posties, and they would come and collect things from her, etc. So they're just blank cards where someone's done all the lovely cross stitching. This one's for a golfer. If anyone's got a golfer in their life, I don't really have any sort of mad keen golfers, so let me know, and I'm happy to pass it on. Pop it in an envelope and send it anywhere in the world. So you can pop that in the comments if you would like the golfer card. Just make sure you're someone that is a bit of a regular to the channel, because I do like to kind of reserve these little giveaways for those that are regularly watching. Although imagine if you've got this far through the video, then so you can just say golfer in your comment, and I'm happy to gift it to the first person with the golfer if you are someone that has commented on my video before. This lovely flower one, which I do love, and then this little Easter one, which is very sweet. So I think I'll have to make this just a little Easter display card. I might even pop it in a little frame, because I think it is incredibly sweet. And again, these would be lovely to scan in and then have them as little gift cards, because you'd get that effect of them being an actual printed or an actually stitched card. So I'll pop these back in here so they don't get damaged. So it would have been a bargain at $4, but even more of a bargain at $2 for the lot, complete with the envelopes. And then a big bag of vintage haberdashery items. I'm particularly interested in the, and that was $5 for the lot. I can't remember if that was the half price ones or not, but I thought that was a very good deal. I was interested in the measuring tapes, because they're lovely to add into stitchery. This one's definitely one of the fabric-y type ones, although it's got some sort of stitching item on it. This one's one of the fabric items one. It's an English Woman's Weekly one. This one's one of the more sort of plasticky ones, but again you can couch over them. There's various thread counters in here. I think these are needle sizing little things, but again they're lovely English needle gauge. They're lovely little things. A very handy little pair of scissors. Love these big pins. I assume they're used in knitting as well. And then some boned Petersham, an iron-on mender, and some cable needles. So a good little bundle of goodies, but I was particularly interested in the measuring tapes. And then some pink buttons. Again, I think these were the half price, so $2.50 for lots of lovely pinks and lots of small sizes, which are always handy, as well as some really nice larger size ones. I won't take those out because I'm outside and they'll probably end up all over the ground. And then there was a whole bunch of these tapestries, let me put that over there, that were all half price as well. Some of them partially finished, some unstarted, some with their threads. Get everything out of the bag now so that I can show you. Oh, there's another rickrack white, which is good to be able to dye. And, oh yes, I had those as well. Okay. So this is a lovely piece of stitch sampling. A finished little tapestry piece. Again, $8, so that came down to $4, which I think is very good value for someone having put all the work in. This one's fully finished as well, so that came down to $6, and it's got, that is the front. It's got snowdrop, anemone, violet and iris. In fact, I'm not sure. Oh no, that has been finished. The violet's been finished in a slightly different purple. Maybe they ran out of the exact matching purple, or maybe it's just faded. I'm not sure. I thought that was very lovely colours to that one. And then this one reminds me of a vintage like botanical painting I've seen. Oops. Oh, and this has still got all its, so incomplete, and it's got its threads, so that came down to $6. But I would probably, actually I think I'd need to finish up on the flower. I don't know if I'd need to fill in all of the background, because I might even just be cutting it out and using it in this form, although it does have a rather lovely border that is finished on it, so it might be nice to try and finish the background as well. Have to see if I've got enough time to do everything that I want to do. Now this one I thought could be lovely to put on my family heirloom quilt, or otherwise just on a pouch or something like that. A beautiful piece of tapestry made in France. This is a large scale piece. It's an Australian piece made in EEC, 100% cotton. Frank Matseyer's collection d'art, and it's got what DMCs are meant to be used with it, and it's been mostly finished, so it's got I just loved the Australian eucalypt. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see the whole image, so I'll just try and sort of move it around for you. But it's got cattle standing around under a tree. It's got a very quintessential colours, and I just love looking at even how the tree has been done in such different colours, but they just really come together to create the effect of the tree. And I think it is actually one of those pieces where it's coloured for the different stitches that need to go into it. On the front at least, it looks like it's showing the colours, maybe. Not sure, or unless that's some sort of staining, but it looks like there's like yellow, blue over here, green. So yeah, I think it is actually telling you what colours to use by where it's coloured on here. So I'll have to have a bit of a look and see if I can figure out from that, because it would be nice to finish it, because it doesn't actually have too much left to go. And I do have quite a few tapestry wools, etc., that could be used. But otherwise that one would be lovely to add into another piece. This is an unfinished, I'll just fold it out for you. Came down to $4, this one. So it's unstarted, I should say. Not, oh no, actually no, it's started down the bottom. Bit of stitching down there. But again, I just thought this could be interesting even to use as a base to do some slow stitching or something over, or even just to overlay it over another piece of fabric and use it as a pouch outside itself, even without doing all the stitching into it. This is a finished one for $4, so it was half price again, and I thought that was a very sweet little scene. And then this one reminds me of the Art Deco paintings, so I thought that was lovely, lady standing there. So that was that bag. Oh, and then so these buttons are from the lovely Mac and Morgan, who I'll link below this video also, who's over on Instagram. So these are vintage French buttons. Still in there. Sorry for the rustling, folks. Might need to, actually what I'll do is I'll put my buttons down onto this. I just love all the vintage metal buttons. Oh, that's an octopus. And you did hear me talking before about the octopus's garden, so I wonder if that will have to somehow feature in that piece. Could be a bit of treasure on the bottom of the sea. Yes. Look at this one. Look how old this is. It's got some sort of inlay. I don't know if it's like a shell inlay, and then it's got sorry, I should actually put that somewhere where you can see that properly. It's got shell and then gold. This one has got Paris on it, Andre Paris. So I've got 1, 2 as well. Yep, that's got Paris as well, MB something X. This one's got a little cherub. So yeah, Mac and Morgan gets lovely finds, treasures from France and other places. Little anchors, very sweet. Another little anchor one, very old. Sweet little, it's got such a sort of a filigree, not filigree, but like really fine little lines etched into it. Another anchor with wonderful age. That looks like another octopus. Bit of an octopus theme. Well, I think that's telling me that artwork, the octopus garden, oh, look at those sweet little flowers on that one. Another anchor, and another octopus, 3 octopus. So I think there's a sign there. I think they'll have to go into the piece. This one's got quite a, I think that's a horse on it. I wonder if that one can be cleaned up at all, or maybe that should go under the sea as well. It's sort of got those undersea corroded colours. And this has got on Henry Camilleri Kelly Ari Rex. I don't know what that one is. Looks like a face of a very ancient face. So that is perfect indeed. I haven't looked at those, so it's so funny to see the 3 octopus ones in there. And then these ones are what are called fèves, or F-E-V-E-S, and I think they're often used as little charms, like in Christmas pudding. So some of them are ceramic and some of them are plastic, but I just thought they were so charming. So not sure what I'll do with these. I was thinking they could be added maybe as little, if you could kind of do some stitching over them, they could go on little pouches, or they might even be nice just to sit in a little bag, a little bowl on my display desk. They are very sweet little shapes. So a little rowboat, a Concorde, a heart, the fleur-de-lis, a shoe, a little lady, a little man. I assume this is like a mummy or a baby, maybe a swaddled baby. Hexagon, the Eiffel Tower, a little fish. 1969 something, a rocket I guess. A priest, a little shamrock, a little cat, little duck, lovely little sort of like paving stone, a face like the moon, a car, and a flower. So yeah, they're very sweet and precious. And I had often seen them on her, well not often, but periodically had seen them come up, and they'd always been purchased. But I thought, no, I want my own little set of those. And also in that same package that I had earlier with all the other vintage bits and the tapestries and things, oh yeah, the cards came, the cross-stitch cards came sandwiched in between this cover of a little golden book, and I thought, isn't that perfect for Easter? The lively little rabbit actually had some tape holding it together, so the tape came off on the back of this one. But I thought I might, put this with my little Easter collection and bring that out at Easter, because it's a lovely vintagey look as well. Could be even a cute design to put onto some fabric and to then to stitch, because it's got my beloved mushrooms as well. So that is a bit of fun. And then this is something that I think I'm going to do some stitching from, and I might share the videos. I wouldn't obviously share the exact designs from this, but I might share some videos working through and making some Christmas felt decorations, and then I'll see if I can find some free online sort of images of similar things to this, so that I'm not giving away the person's own designs, and then you could adapt yourself. So I would love to make myself my own 12 days of Christmas felt decorations. I think that would be a lovely little project to work on during the year. I always find December and November rush by so fast, so it might be something that I start doing maybe one a month, making a decoration, and then by the time we get to Christmas, or even one every few weeks, I'll have the full set of 12 of them. So stay tuned for that as well. And then I went to the op shop when we were down the beach for a little excursion yesterday, and just got a little bundle of goodies. We had taken Travis to Inverloch and done a lovely walk along the beach there and splashed around, but it was still a bit too early to have our picnic lunch, and so we walked into town and there was a Red Cross op shop, which is like a thrift store for those of you overseas. And because I'm planning my doily dress, I thought I'll pick up these rectangle doily ones, because again I can use them whole or cut into them. And then they had some lovely embroidered pieces, so I love that this has got a almost pale yellowy colour to it, and beautiful stitching, almost like the Hungarian type stitching. This is just a very simple little, which way is the front? That's the front. It's unravelling slightly on its sides, but again just nice to be able to use the different little elements in your pieces. These ones probably not the neatest. This is probably not the neatest stitching, but I think it's quite sweet and lovely bright colours. These are those beautiful flowers, but the ones on Paula's tablecloth she gave me, they're even more petite than these ones. I think this is really beautiful. Love the colour scheme of this. And there were some handkerchiefs, beautiful cotton handkerchiefs, and these are lovely again to use in like a stitch book, or to use them to make little covered buttons or Suffolk puffs. They're usually nice and fine. It's a great tip that my friend Sally from Dotty B gives. This is a tray cloth. It's starting to come apart at one end, but I thought it had some lovely stitching of the flowers and the beautiful leaves. And it's getting harder to find these embroidered doilies at good prices, so when I do find them for a good price I will sort of pick them up. Another lovely handkerchief. This one's not embroidered, but I thought the design was beautiful and it would be lovely to add some embroidery to. Beautiful bright vivid colours, and it's a nice linen and it's got the nice green border on it. Sorry, I just realised you couldn't see the actual flowers. And then this one, and then this lovely handkerchief. I've got two of these yellows, so I think that might have to go in the next pile for Sally. I've just sent a pile over to Christy to take over to Sally when she goes to visit soon. Now these, I don't know if these are Swiss of origin, if someone knows the sort of origin of them, but I think maybe they are little sort of, Swiss mountain dancing scenes. And I am planning a travel sort of related project at some point, so I've got two of these. And then another one of these little ones. Another one of this, but it's a different design, but again just beautiful stitching. Another lovely handkerchief, and then a lovely blue work. So again, probably quite a naive stitching style, but it's a nice linen, nice colour, so I got that. So they are my treasures. I better let you go before we hit the 1 hour mark, but I hope you enjoyed seeing those. Thanks everyone.